So, everybody knows that all you gotta do is like follow me online on any of the sites. All I talk about for the most part is real estate, Bitcoin, and black wealth. That's pretty much it. That's the existence, and some obviously memes in Chick-fil-A and all that kind of stuff. But the point is, everybody knows I'm a big Bitcoin guy, right? So with that being said, I was laughing. I saw this chick be on Twitter, and she got a lot of followers and stuff, and she just be slandering Bitcoin. And someone pointed something out to me. And the reason I'm showing this and bringing this up is because, to the point that Mark made about that rift between the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X, and you see the people that were getting in between it, right? So this is how this all ties together. She says Bitcoin fails as a money because it's naive monetary policy. Many people think government printing too much is evil, so a fixed money supply must be good. The reality, a money that cannot expand will crush the economy and put us all in poverty. Here's how and how to. So if you go through her Twitter feed, she got about 32,000 followers. She writes about investment, macro, humanity, future, blah, 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 blah. And all she talks about is NFTs and slanders Bitcoin, right? So I'm laughing at that because that absolutely makes no sense whatsoever. Anybody that studies economics knows that make no sense. Somebody said something to me though. They was like, yo, check this out. It's like, look who chick worked for. It's not in her bio, but if you ever do a research on her, this is who she works for. The chick.
And that's why.
The chick works for the IMF. I point that out to say this. The
IMF is the biggest cabal in the damn world.
But I point that out to say this. In 2021, the IMF literally has people on social media like who are building up followings as thought leaders, but they're really working for big government agencies trying to control narratives. And I'm sitting there like, yo, it's right on their website. She literally works for the IMF. I said, this is still happening. This is the stuff that we read that our ancestors went through. It's like they've brought it to the digital space. That to me is crazy.
This is your favorite spy TV show being played out in real life, right? They got the secret operatives on TV doing the absolute most and trying to burn down it's like watching what's the name of them Jones? The Lone Survivor or whatever the hell those Jones is. Your favorite, your favorite conspiracy TV show being played out in real life, man.
But to me, like, and I'm pretty sure there's and people already probably know this and they probably have number, but I actually just someone put me down with that one because I'll be laughing. It's funny because one of the things that I tried to do better at is a lot of us live in echo chambers, right? So if I believe Bitcoin is one thing, I always try to read like opposing beliefs in Bitcoin. If I believe that, buying the hood is a good thing, I like to have people that oppose to that and say, no, you should invest your money here.
You want to know where the weaknesses in your argument are. So
Exactly. But then after I read that, I'm like, this is propaganda at this point. I always go to her page and see like what kind of negative stuff she says. And I laugh at it because she never really has great points. But somebody was like, yo, she's built up this following. And if you look at her bio, it mentions nothing about that, but she's on there as an employee. I'm like, yo, this is in 2021. They've brought this to the cyber world. This is what I read about when I read about Garvey, when I read about WebD, when I read about people in between who create narratives and try to put people against each other and do these things. And it's actually happening on social media. I say that to say, be careful about the stuff you read on these social media streets because cats be out here frauding and lying. And with that being said, she says it's not good at money, can't be used as money. And one of the bigger stories from the week is that El Salvador has adopted Bitcoin as legal tender. And this story right here is interesting. Because they've done so, Western Union and similar companies are going to lose $400 million a year. That's going back into the pockets of the people.
Yeah, because now they don't got to pay all them damn fees to send money back and forth. You can literally send it wallet to wallet for pennies. Why would you pay them $400 million a year when you can send it wallet to wallet for pennies?
And for those that have never used a Lightning Network, it's complete. It's faster than anything else there is, and it's literally pennies. But it's funny. So she says that, and then that actually happens. It's proven her wrong, but it's propaganda anyway. You know what I mean? Like, And I really think that's important because you gotta make sure you know what you're reading, man. Shout out to Kev. He said Western Union. What's that? Listen, man. Some people still use Western Union. Some people still use check cashing places. So, I mean, and the funny thing about us as Americans, a lot of times we take for granted that some of the things that we have. When I was reading about El Salvador, it was a crazy number. It was like 80% don't even have bank accounts.
Yeah,
So
because their money collapsed, and so bank accounts was useless.
but when you go to other
They
countries
couldn't
and
get
you
their
see,
money. They stopped using the banks because when the banks collapsed, they couldn't get their money out.
mhm. So you know, a lot of things that we have, other countries just don't have. You know what I mean? And a lot of it's political. Everything's political.
Everything's political, and the thing about this is, and the reason why they don't want the crypto to spread to these developing countries is because you can't if you the way that the most people don't know that banks control the world, right? And so if they lose control of the money supply, they lose control. Period.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so that's why they're fighting against this so hard, because if people realize the amount of control that like people think that voting in the US will change things. Voting The US doesn't control its money, so they don't have no control.
Mm-hmm.
People don't know what the Federal Reserve does. The US government has zero control of its money. None.
Yeah,
Has zero control of its money.
yeah.
So people don't really understand. They think the government runs the government. The government is they just there. They're like figureheads
They
because
work
they
for
don't control
bankers,
anything.
and now they even some of the bankers the government's beefing with. Yo, your man Biden, right, is very low key in his approach, but he's out here wilding right now, man.
No, he's doing the absolute most.
Let me show you this story. He even got the bankers mad at him right now. Look at this story right here, bro. Tell you about your man. So they trying to get this budget passed, and he trying to sneak something in the budget, right? It says banks escalate fight over IRS reporting and Biden's budget plan. Look at this, what he tried to sneak in there, right? There's a measure considered by lawmakers, right? It could result in banks having to report transaction data for any account with at least $600 of inflows or outflows annually.
This nigga, what? Wow, what's wrong with him?
Yo, what? 600, bro?
So basically, you just want to know what every single American is doing with their money.
Yo, this is like something from a movie. Like this is
So
like
basically, like anybody any child, like you know what I mean, like
dog. This is George. This is like what they say Orwellian. This is something
yeah, this
from
is weird. Like,
George
what's wrong
Orwell,
with him?
bro. Yo, that's y'all, man. Y'all voted for this dude, man. Sleepy Joe is out here wilding, man.
Don't say y'all. Don't say y'all.
Yo, he's wilding. $600.
Yeah,
$600.
He tripping, man. Ain't nobody going for that. I ain't gonna say nobody was going for it, but it got caught because that stand out like a sore thumb. Like right now is at 10 racks, and that's even low.
Yeah, man. So that's insane, man. That's insane.
They trying to catch the microtransactions so they could tax the small person again. Like you can't, like, come on, dude. You trying to turn this into
that's insane.
You trying to turn this into 1920s Germany. Like they wilding.
Just be careful. Just watch what's happening out here, man, because it's scary out here. And the crazy part is
spooky.
It's almost like they're using this pandemic, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, so I'm not into all that. Like, no, actually, I am a conspiracy. I'm not gonna lie, I am a conspiracy. But in terms of the pandemic and all that, I'm not into it. They're doing this. But I think that sometimes things fall on your lap.
Control thing, man.
No, sometimes things fall on your lap and you take advantage of it. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just getting nasty out here. $600, that's insane, bro. That's insane.
Yeah, they doing.
And then he tried to pass something, and again, I'm not one of these people out here pro-Satan, pro-vax, anti-vax. Your body, your choice. But I saw that he was trying to mandate anybody with over 100 employees has to force their workers to get the vax. So he's out here that's taking control. So it's kind of crazy right now.